My opinions on the Order aside, they certainly know how to accrue knowledge. Let us locate the material those insane hermits desire.
Did my colleagues design this layout to be intentionally confounding?
Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for? Wonderful. Please deposit the titles in that drawer there, and we will review it forthwith. Excellent timing. We're nearly finished reviewing the materials you brought us. Oh, well now, this is unexpected. The arguments in this text seem to have highlighted a teleological flaw I fear my own argument shares. You too, huh? Under certain conditions, de-escalation becomes impossible, leading to negative outcomes, including outright annihilation. An annihilated entity cannot advance the plan.
But maybe annihilation itself serves a purpose we're simply unaware of. You were right before. Participating in a war only produces an entropic feedback loop. Maybe.
Given your stance, you'll be wanting a weapon rather than armor, I'm sure. You can retrieve it from the same drawer where you deposited our research materials. We appreciate your time. If you have a spare 4 hours, feel free to stay and observe our period of silent, sustained reading. Otherwise, until we next confer.
I shall reduce them to a slurry!
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
I'm on.
Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Combatant scan.
Reassuring the marginal.
Spies asking for aid! Shall not! You must dip your blood within, Commander!
Unnecessary vulnerability.
Creating.
Moving to a more fortified position. Grenade.
Threat detected.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Please don't mess us at the weapons, Commander.
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Is that supposed to be Praetor? Looks a little small to me.
So Clemens and Svoboda's killer arrives. So much of our plan ruined because of your meddling. Victor's explosives would have minimized casualties on both sides. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station's security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. I trust you're not implying something untoward between us. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. DeVries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The endpoint. No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the architect's computational summary are you on about? This proves nothing, except your willingness to trespass into other people's correspondence, and Joseph's inability to express himself clearly in the written form. I can't conceive of a reason why my survival should matter to you.
Only the vainly short-sighted undermine their own future.
However, as a matter of professional curiosity, let's entertain the hypothetical. I stand down. Then what? If my numbers had supported such an outcome, do you truly believe I would have elected for all this disorder? None of this is going according to my calculations. I certainly failed to predict your attempt to negotiate. I predicted you'd say that.
At your word, I shall...
Riddle me with bullets all you like. With this rejuvenation device at my disposal, you'll never do me harm.
Come back and step.
My adversary vulnerability. Suffered extensive damage.
This is not in my predictions! Whoever is left, kill this outlier!
Ordnance down. Remove him from the equation.
Moving up to improve accuracy.
Torpificator is charged.
Reviving me is strategically optimal.
This is not in my predictions!
Adversary vulnerability.
Do try to limit further damage, Commander.
on their weaknesses. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Combatant scan.
Target coordinates.
Check your scope for combat. Exposure levels untenable. Vitals critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Information gathering continues.
Go for torpification. Target analyzed. Lay down.
Taking cover. Yeah. Investigating disturbance.
Found unknown variable.
Taking cover.
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
You have my thanks and my help.
The equation.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything.
We off to the peace talks then? We'll need your ship unless you intend to walk. To space.
Agent, over here. I assume you had a chance to speak with Landon, that is, Seer Wily. I appreciate the sentiment, but there is now ample evidence disproving that fact. The truth is, I held Wily back. I kept him from advancing for my own selfish gains by spreading lies and false concern over his competence behind his back. If I had not thwarted his ambitions... No. Those hypotheticals are best considered in private, I think. I won't keep you. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery. Regrettable though the outcome with Seer Wily turned out to be. I had intended to offer you access to one of our experimental weapons, but it seems you already helped yourself to it. You always do seem a step ahead of me. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
I don't know what you're complaining about. We emerged totally unscathed.
I'd estimate I'm 43.11% scathed.
Then increment your bravery index. My goodness, you novices and your theatrics.
What is that contraption strapped to your head?
You like my goggles? I devised them myself. They enhance my visual acuity, scan adversaries for weaknesses, and even torpify aggressors for easier dispatching.
Seems one should rely on their own physique over the valuable aid of machines.
Your armor protects you from bodily trauma. It doesn't seem too different. We all need technology, dear. We wouldn't be in Arcadia without it.
Can't say I was expecting to see anyone else in these parts for a good long while. Hello, friend. Welcome to the most beautiful half-built landing platform on all of Dorado. Simple, friend. You see any sergeants barking orders? Any of those spidery crystal critters lurking in the rocks? Any order forces storming the area? No, you do not. The perfect blend of just close enough to the base to be safe, but not close enough for any officers to get nosy. And I still get paid the same as if I was a frontliner. Ah, there's the real beauty of it. They won't. The Order's anti-air guns are a damn sight better than we expected. There's no reason to finish the landing pad on account of nothing can land. Command won't go back to building it until the war is won. Then I'm in no danger of being shot anyways. Maybe I'll even get a promotion for doing such a good job keeping this place safe. Oh, no doubt about it, friend. They've been blasting our landing craft out of the sky right, left, and center. I can't even imagine the total cost of it all. But as long as my bits keep rolling in, why should I care? Someone else is getting demoted for that, not me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get back to my favorite pastime, doing absolutely nothing and getting paid for it.
An unscathed Auntie's Choice Fortress? Huh. Rather lacking in the aesthetic department, isn't it? Oh, please. Even I know Auntie's Choice would never keep a live mantisaur in their midst. Surely they saw my approach and chose to stage this.
Honestly, Bradford, I've no notion of how to cool your conniption. Corporate says I'm in charge, so I'm in charge.
You're in charge? Wait, you're in charge? Don't you mean the executive is in charge?
Of course, that's what I meant. Whether I say me, he, or we, it's all the same.
It's all the same pile of gum.
That tone is not how you get approval for your little tests, designer. Next time, you might want to try and tame your woolly curds with a little mock apple.
Yes? Who are you? And why are you attempting to steal my utterly invaluable attention? Ah, wonderful! I was hoping someone would bring some sense into this madness. You should go talk to Trooper Wentworth. I'll let him speak for himself before I start speaking for him. Sure, fine. Were I you, I'd do my best not to get eaten as I was bumbling through areas I'm not meant to be in.
Yes, I hope you're not here to apply for employment. I'm already overwhelmed by the sheer volume of peons I'm forced to oversee. And if you're here as a spy, know that the temporary ceasefire is on tenuous footing. So if you stay, it's likely just a matter of time before I'll be stringing you up. Enemy Scrutinization Officer Durbin. What does he want with me? Ah, well, in that case, your business is with both my commander and me. But I'm being rude. Allow me to introduce Strategic Ingestment Executive Wojciech, Senior Most Representative at Fort Endurance. Now you're starting to sound like some of the wagabouts I've got under my command. Why would I be anything but serious? Executive Wojciech has been part of this unit since he was just a pupa. As he grew, he's shown exceptional bravery, stoic stalwartness, and strong leadership. It's earned him promotion after promotion, until our last battle against the Order deprived us of our former chief executive and left him as the senior-most trooper. Okay. The executive welcomes you, but would like to know why Scrutinization Officer Durbin sent you here. There's no dispute. Executive Wojciech is in complete charge of the fort. His orders, which I interpret as his junior officer, are executed without question. My experimental mantisaur graft lets me speak with him as easily as I do with you. He emits pheromones that my antenna can detect. He wouldn't be much of a commander if he couldn't communicate with the troops.
That is exactly what he's doing.
Designer Bradford, you've been warned about disrespecting the chain of command.
And you've been reminded, repeatedly, that I'm not under your chain of command. I'm technically under the Mantisaur, but that's got nothing to do with you. I just wanted to make it clear to our newcomer that you are full of shit. You've always been full of shit, and you will always be full of shit. So you're best ignored entirely.
That is quite enough, designer. Of course not. I'm just a lowly trooper acting as interpreter. Otherwise, surely these folks would have figured it out by now.
We have all figured it out. Unfortunately, I'm the only one willing to say it to your face.
Yes, well, please excuse our curmudgeonly biologist. She's been a pill ever since the promotion that made Wojciech outrank her. Still, that ugly moment behind us, it's a comfort to my mind that you're here. Executive Wojciech has an assignment we're desperate to have done, but it can only go to someone outside our chain of command.
Ugh, not this crabble scat again. There is zero chance you're right. Zero. And this brilliant assignment of yours didn't go so well for the last group. Yes, I have been trying to get Durbin to relieve this duo of command for months. But the lives they've lost with this insanity finally got his attention.
Bradford, how dare you undermine me? I mean, us, like that.
Well, if you're competent enough for Durbin to send you, then unlike the others, you can probably survive this fool's errand. And what better way to prove Wentworth is lying?
Ah, just rumors and conjecture. The base gossip is that another team was sent to recover the pupa and never returned. But I'm sure they're just deserters. Wojciech can sense that there are some kind of mutated mantisaurs over yonder, and he wants us to secure one of their pupas to raise as his own.
Oh, stop it. The creature doesn't want a pupa. He doesn't want to breed a superior race of mantisaurs. He wants to eat meat, excrete the excess, and be left alone. That's it. Even if he could ask for a pupa from a rival nest, he'd probably just eat the law-be-damned thing to cut down on competition. He's a bug, nothing more. But the only way to prove it to our command is to have you run this fool's errand. Once it's shown to have been a colossal waste of resources, they'll put me in charge.
That is enough. One more word in question of our executive officer, and I'll have you pitched over the edge with the rest of the enemies we've conquered here.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. With it, Wojciech can raise a Zeranium-mutated Mantisaur army, which will be even more dangerous than the ones Auntie's Choice evolved from the Halcyon stock. We need you to infiltrate the mutated Mantisaur nest, secure a mutated pupa, and bring it to me here. Do that, and I, and Executive Wojciech, shall make sure you are well rewarded for your efforts. Look in the nest to the east. That'll have your best odds. It's where Wojciech feels the pull from the strongest.
Feels a pull, Wentworth? Seriously? What am I saying? That makes the exact amount of scientific sense I'd expect from you. Excuse me? May we speak a second? Apologies for my outburst, but I had need to warn you that an earful from Wentworth is akin to sucking on an inhaler full of ammonia.
Hey, what are you two talking about?
Nothing of your concern, Wentworth! Just ignore him. He was clever enough to pretend that Graft lets him talk with the beast. So overnight, he upstarted from simple trooper to de facto commander of this installation.
You know it's impolite to whisper, right?
But I've studied him extensively, and it is most assuredly nothing but a play for power. I'm not surprised. You seem sharp. So, if you know he's lying, then you understand that catering to his will isn't gonna do anyone any good. Conversely, the scientific value of studying the mutated pupa he wants is exponentially greater than any possible use he could have for it. Bring it to me, and not only will I match any reward he offers, but you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that it will serve a much greater purpose. Wonderful! Scientific discovery awaits your return.
We're not going to tell anyone about this, yes? Ever?
Hey, you gotta help me, please. I didn't do what they say I done.
Marisol, despite your many faults, I cannot saddle you with a lack of decisiveness. Nonetheless, I ask, have you ever entertained the possibility of a different path?
Oh, from time to time. I've run the numbers on a wild array of alternate scenarios for myself. You know, as an occasional winsome distraction. What about you? Does an unthinking, yay-saying rule follower ever ponder their life choices? And no saying, the Protectorate dictates my duty.
The Protectorate dictates my duty, but if, by some insane twist, I was forced into another field, I suppose farming will be the least miserable. Aid plants and the little creatures in their growth, and be aided by them in return. Quiet, but honorable work. It sounds almost pleasant.
Give the order and I'll take care of it, Commander. How are you still upright? Look at a few courts low, Commander. Oh, man. Hey, got a distraction for you.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
This might sting. A lot.
Knew you had my back. Don't make me bury another agent! Ready to waste them, on your command. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter. I'm the one you need to worry about.
Look sharp.
Things take time, Commander.
All on the wrist.
Ready?
ready for the bug hunt.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
The idea is to kill them before you die.
Look up, Commander. Don't make me a...
Let me know. Over here! Free hole in that. I'm the one you need to worry about.
This might sting.
A lot.
Hey, stranger! You're one of those... I can't remember what, but I need help, and here you folks will do good deeds for free.
Hello again. Have you brought me the pupa? Oh, thank law. Here's the reward I promised. I am downright giddy to get it into my lab so I can start my experiments.
Just a thought, but maybe take care when you're handling that.
Mantisaurs, eyes up, troop! A mess of the bastards are coming from the east.
Did they follow those folks back from that nest?
Step aside.
Recharge for mayhem!
Fast. I have a meeting in an hour.
I'm gonna be picking Manosaur gristle out of my rotators for a week. Well, let's see who's left in charge. And yell at them.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was? What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order?
Thank the Architect. I knew you'd be back. Well, really, it was... I can tend to your injuries. Many thanks. Right as rain. Now, will there be anything else? My supply...
Hey, Commander, I think Val wants us to discuss strategy. Or I could just be misunderstanding the noises emanating from her.
The information collected on the peace talks has been verified, Commander. As time is a factor, This unit suggests heading to Greater Tranquility Station as soon as you are able.
We can't let DeVries catch us on the back foot again. We need a plan.
Despite my skepticism regarding these peace negotiations, I favor the idea of interrupting your saboteur's malevolent aims.
That's a lot of death. And not the fun kind.
Records indicate Greater Tranquility is a derelict station. Consequently, the ideal route to reach the main chamber for the peace talks will be through its underbelly. Be advised, in the absence of Victor, status deceased, and his explosives, Agent DeVries and her team will be committed to a frontal assault. Due to delays incurred while saving the Order hostages, DeVries also has the codes to control the station's security automechanicals, and will assuredly deploy them against you, Commander. Confirmed. Per the Earth Directorate Manual, a team formed of multiple agents is vital to success, especially during missions where agent attrition is likely to occur.
I'm coming with you. Who better to make DeVries pay for Horizon Point than a pair of our own Phantoms? Good. Would have been a shame if DeVries was the reason for us falling out too.
Confirming coordinates for Greater Tranquility Station. Confirmed. Use the astrogator when you are ready to navigate to the station, Commander.
I must admit to being highly vexed by this kill order situation. Of course not. What a ridiculous question. You think that I'm like you, but I'm no longer bound by social restraints or pedestrian things like regret. So were I even to imply I felt remorse, that I wish I'd perhaps approached this with a more logical bent and not slaughtered these loyal Dawn members, it would mean nothing.
Victor wasn't exactly the partner in crime I envisioned DeVries to have. Someone with a little more grit. That man back there? Reckon a tough crossword puzzle would have eventually sent him over the edge, even if we hadn't come along. And DeVries had him building a bomb. She obviously manipulated him into acting against his conscience. But he didn't leave us room to show him any grace neither. You ever wonder what might have happened if DeVries had let us in on her initial plan? Surely we wouldn't have been taken in by her rhetoric like Victor. Right? No, yeah, of course. Stupid question. It's just, I look at someone like Victor and see the trap I might have fallen into. True, but DeVries is still DeVries. She's good at deconstructing folks, uncovering their points of failure. She'd have known I had my heart set on being a hero. After Triangulum, all I wanted was to do for other colonies what Augustine had done for mine. Still do, if I'm honest. Trying anyway. Thanks for letting me wax for a bit. We can get back to what we were doing now. Unless there was something else you needed. Always up for a little back fence talk, though I'm guessing you don't mean Val. Underneath that friendly old lady facade, Marisol's a killer. Best we not forget that. Future's always changing, though. Who knows? Maybe Marisol will surprise us. In a good way, I mean. Not in a surprise attack kind of way. I hope. Well, he hasn't brought the hammer down upon us yet, so I suppose that's something. I still wouldn't play the odds on him choosing us over the Protectorate if it came right down to it, but I'd be happy to be proven wrong there. Can't say I know her well enough to have much in the way of an opinion. She seems capable, and shockingly, she hasn't tried to sell me anything yet. She's still got more loyalty to Auntie's choice than they have to her, but I think she'd have a hell of a time passing the Directorate psychological screening. Don't much care for all her talk about disembowelment neither. Truth be told, I don't know her all that well. Reckon she's unmoored and grabbing for anything that feels like purpose, same as the rest of us. At least that's what I would say if I was feeling charitable. Most days, I'd send her out the airlock if it came to a vote. Sure thing. I trust you've got particulars in mind? Oh yeah? What's needling you? Shit. Knew I was forgetting something. Well, if this ain't mortifying as law, I had some trouble adjusting in the years after Horizon Point. I was in pain more times than I wasn't. Had trouble sleeping. The drinks helped. Until they didn't. I will. Just so long as you promise not to take notes or nothing. I'm not some patient or specimen, Commander. Just so we're clear. For those first few years, every time I laid down and closed my eyes, I went back there. To Horizon Point. I'd swear I could feel the explosion again, the heat coming at me. I'd wake suddenly in the middle of the night, startling at nothing. Sweating like I'd run a race. Sometimes Zeb set up with me. He told me I'd get better with time, and I did. The sedatives he was occasionally able to get his hands on didn't hurt neither. Anyway, that was the past. I'm good now. I found other ways to cope. Healthier ones. Most things worth doing ain't. When I'm not out there heroically saving the colony, I like to tinker around the ship or work on Val. I exercise. Been considering taking up cross-stitch. What do you think? That was a joke, but always appreciate a vote of confidence. Was there anything else you needed, Commander? Like most colonies, good people being ground down from above. A lot of fancy talk from suits about streamlining and quarterly earnings while them on the line barely scrape by. Triangulum's known for churning out freighters, and shipbuilding ain't exactly known for being clean, safe work neither. Especially when corners get cut. Can't remember a time I didn't end the day all banged up, filthy, and smelling like I just crawled out of an exhaust port. It was hard work, sure. But there was something special about seeing one of them long haulers fire up her engines for the first time and knowing you had a hand in her construction. Funny thing was, I wasn't even an engineer back then. But I wanted to learn, so I paid attention. Too good of attention, as it turned out. I was working late one evening and overheard something I shouldn't have. Some bigwigs exchanging inside information that would have cost the corporation a pretty bit. A day later, I was being accused of corporate espionage. Didn't want to bring any heat down on anyone else, so I went on the run before the first jackboot showed up at my door. Not as worried as I was about what would happen if I was caught. Probably they would have spaced me and called it a day. I was on the run for, I don't even know how long. The days sort of bled into one another. I started losing hope of things ever changing for the better. Then, the Earth Directorate showed up. They liberated Triangulum, pulling me and the rest of the colony out from under the corporate boot. Joining up after that just made sense. My folks shuffled off the motor coil when I was little. Assembly line accident. Got passed between some distant relations for a few years. They tried their best. Weren't cruel or nothing, but life on Triangulum was tough. And they had their own families to worry about, you know? I didn't like feeling like I was adding to their burden, so I struck out on my own just as soon as I could. And well, you know how that turned out. Yeah. Thoughts crossed my mind over the years, especially when it was just me and Val. I wish I spent more time with her when I had the chance. No point missing something you're never getting back, though. She was one of the forward agents who went ahead to assess just how bad Triangulum had gotten. We met while I was in hiding, and I helped her learn the lay of the land, as it were. She was no nonsense. I thought her one of the smartest people I'd ever met. And while she could also be cutting, I felt like I only caught her edge when I deserved it. I liked her. And for some reason, she seemed to take a shine to me. But she wasn't around long. By the time I officially joined up, she'd already moved on to the next mission. Sure was. Kept hoping I might run into her during training. But now I know she was busy turning her coat here in Arcadia. I could ask you the same thing. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd gone back to my old life instead of becoming an agent. Stayed on Triangulum, become an engineer or something near to it. I knew joining up with the Earth Directorate wasn't going to be a life of low turbulence, but at least it'd have dignity and purpose to it. Could have maybe done with a smidge less excitement back on Horizon Point. But back to your initial question, do I regret becoming an agent? Yeah, some days. But then there's days like the one when I found you, and well, not much to regret there. Only thing I know for sure is my opinion today is colored by more than just the rosy tint of a low-run kid looking up at the stars. Life's not fair, but it keeps on. You buttering me up for a favor? I'll tell you right now, I'm not taking extra shifts cleaning the head. I have so many questions I want to ask right now, but I think I'd regret getting the answers. Oh, and thanks for what you said. Maybe I'm not as far away from where I started as I thought.
That damn Wily put us in an impossible situation. I'm glad those hostages can go back to their families, but I fear we played right into DeVries' hands. With that data, she could wreak more havoc than we anticipated. Look, I know the choice is yours on how you want to approach this, but it's my folk in the crosshairs. If something happens to our delegate, I don't know how I'd live with myself. If there's space by your side, I hope you'll call on me. Sure, but don't get me wrong. I ain't asking this of you for my own benefit. We got a duty to protect everyone at the peace talks. You as an Earth Directorate agent, me as a soldier. It's what we do. If we fail to stop DeVries, this will have dire consequences for the war and everything else. So let's not fail, huh? Oh, I see. You're here to gossip. All right, let's hear it. Who do you want to talk about? Oh, I got a lot of choice words that would have even Val covering her audio receptors, so I'll spare you most of them. I just hope we don't regret letting Azza on board. She ain't right in the head. She's damn near bloodthirsty. I'll keep my distance when I can, but I promise you, if I perceive even a hint of threat from her, I will deal with it. Ain't often you see an elder solving an equation with one hand and stabbing someone in the eye with the other. So the real question is, does she get along with me? I sure hope so. I'm keen to learn about her, though I reckon she's more of an abacus than an open book. Set in her ways, methodical. And law help you if you jostle her. Fine by me. How personal are we talking? Not great. It was a mining colony under Spacer's choice. Didn't have much, but my parents worked hard to ensure we had shelter and a warm meal every day. They're good folk. I love them. But I don't think they ever quite grasped how bad things were before Auntie's choice came. They warned me not to join up, you know. Said we'd all get burned if we put too much stock in the promises of this foreign corporation. But I'd rather take a risk on them than be resigned to how things were. Our colony was isolated, which meant our Spacer's Choice overlords could do as they saw fit. Everyone lived in squalor, save for a select few. We were little more than workhorses. Those of us at the bottom only found joy with our families, our friends. But love alone can't get you through the toughest, darkest winters. I miss the sunsets, and my folks, though I know they're well taken care of nowadays. But that's about it. Most of my friends joined up when I did, so we took our community with us. Leaving my hometown itself, it was an eager farewell. No, not at all. But I ain't sure my folks oppose them now. They have good jobs and a roof that doesn't leak. The ones who didn't adjust, however, was our management. Some of them tried to cut a deal. Company secrets in exchange for an entry-level administrative role, and made it out okay. But most violently opposed the takeover, and that ain't hypothetical. Reckon a bullet in the gray matter was more palatable than being forced to the bottom rung. Says it all, really.
What do you need, Commander? Who exactly? Niles? He's fun to torment. I mean, he's equal parts enthusiastic and naive, even with all he's gone through. I find her amusing. In a best not to torment her or she'll kill us all kind of way, which I completely respect. Of course I do. What's not to like? To envy? Her style, her lethality. Oh, she's a professional for architect's sake. I wish I'd known about her department when I was growing up. Even as a child, I know they'd have seen my potential. Tristan's a standard issue arbiter, albeit with an extra slathering of arrogance, especially when it comes to ensuring the Protectorate's inane laws are followed without question. But as long as that ridiculously large hammer of his isn't pointed in my direction, I could watch him administer justice all day. Though he'd be loath to admit it, his propensity for violence almost matches my own. Not only does she possess more heart than your standard corporatist flunky, she's a great deal smarter as well. Don't tell her I said so. She's fortunate she ran into you. Otherwise, I've no question she'd have died from her graft, still cluelessly devoted to aunties despite her intelligence. Such as?
The hostages went home safe. We'll see if those at the peace talks make it back fine as well. May all our travails add to the equation.